Yes, welcome to 93. You're joining me for Rising Tides, Chapter 11, Hell or High Water. The next morning, you're so nervous that you can barely eat breakfast. You pick your half-heartedly at your bowl of oatmeal. Come on, honey, you're gonna need your strength if you're out marching today. I know, I'm just on edge. I've never been to a protest before, let alone led one. What if Monteverde tries to shut us down? If Monteverde tries anything, they'll have to go through this mama bear. Wait, you're coming with? Did you think for a minute we weren't? This is our town, our business, and our family. No way we're sitting it out. I actually had to talk to your mom out of her plan to leave a bunch of dead fish on Monteverde's doorstep. They're the ones responsible. They should have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Yes, dear, but there are less stinky ways to make a point. Wow, this is next level family bonding. Some people take road trips or go on vacation. The Thompson family, we hit the streets to take down corporations. You know what they say, the family that protests together stays together. That's definitely going in the holiday letter. In all seriousness, though, this protest is important. We want to support you. No matter what happens today, we're proud of you. You're standing up for what's right. We tried to raise you and Charlie to be strong, thoughtful, and brave, and I see all of those things in you now. Can't help but feel a lump form in your throat, and your mom takes your hand as you sniffle. Thanks, guys. Some days it feels like us against the world, but I'm glad I've got you in my corner. Always, and even if it's just the four of us out there today, we're going to be the four loudest, most determined protesters in the world has ever seen. As then your phone dings, it's a text from Robin with a link to his article. Whoa, he really did hustle. It's been only a few days. Your parents crane over to look at the article. Look at you and Charlie in those matching outfits. You two look adorable. Can you ask Robin to send me those photos? I want to frame those and put them on the wall. I'm glad you like them, but let's see what the article actually says. When I sat down to talk with the Thompson sisters, I saw two driven young women who refused to let their homes be taken from them. Faced with economic hardship, a smear campaign, and even attacks on their family, Harriet and Charlie continue to fight for Cedarport. For most people, facing a company as powerful as Monteverde would be intimidating enough to make them back down. But the Thompson sisters aren't backing down, not when their home is at stake, and especially not in the light of the fact that Monteverde appears to be more closely tied to the die-off than we know. The article goes on to describe your initiative, local conservative efforts, and Monteverde's response, and the anonymous information you got from Eddie. This is wonderful, honey, and hopefully it'll convince more people to support your cause. Maybe they'll come to the protest today. Did someone say protest because I got signs for us? Charlie bursts into the kitchen carrying several large signs when she begins distributing among you and your parents. Charlie, these are great, but I hope you didn't stay up too late making these. You need to sleep or you'll burn yourself out. Yeah, that's why I went to bed early and got a full 8 hours. I woke up feeling refreshed enough to make all these. You finally learned to pace yourself. I never thought I'd see the day. Charlie hands you your sign and you admire it with a smile. Our house is on fire. This is sure to turn some heads. I'm gonna carry this tall and proud. I'm glad you like it. I want to make sure we're batting 1,000 when we get out there. I just really hope things go well today. It feels like this is our last chance to set things right, you know? We can't let Monteverde stand in the way of our initiative and continue hurting our planet. This is your final opportunity to guide Charlie. The advice you've given her throughout this story will play out at the protest today. Don't worry. We're gonna show people they make a difference. When all this started, I thought there was nothing we could do, but I've seen how we've made small impacts, and I know we can do even more. Yeah, there's always some way to help, big or small. And the more we work together, the bigger the chances and changes we can make. Ah, look at our girls. They grow up and turn into activists so fast. I think you both have the right idea. You're gonna do great today. You glance at the clock and feel a jolt in your stomach. You're not sure if it's nervousness or excitement. It's about time. Are we ready to go? Almost. There's a matter of your clothing. Oh, here we go. Don't tell me my clothes don't scream activist, so you sewed me a whole new outfit for the occasion. Actually, no. Mom, would you care to do the honors? Well, I was digging through my closet last night, and I found the pants and jacket I wore to one of my first protests. They're your size, so I thought maybe you'd like to wear them. I'm sure you can accent it up to make it more cute and modern. She hands you the folded up clothing. You go to your room to change. When you emerge, your family's faces light up. This is what your mother wore? Smoking. Okay, I usually don't say this about clothing I don't make, but this is a powerful look. Oh, honey, she looks just like you at that age. We're not going to talk about this, we're just going to move on. I wonder if some of the folks in the town will recognize that jacket. I used to wear it all the time. As you catch your reflection in the hall mirror, you feel your family's love, support surrounding you. Suddenly, it's as if nothing can hurt you. Wear your mom's clothing to increase your confidence at the protest and learn more, and earn more respect. Yep, respect coming right up. I love it. Thanks for thinking of me, Mom. Hey, better than you get some use from it instead of just letting it sit in my closet. You wear it well. And now that we've all got our fashion needs taken care of, I think it's showtime. Oh, what, you're not gonna change? Oh, it just must be me then. You and your family arrive at the town hall to find a small group gathered. They turn as you approach. Is that you? I thought you were your mom for a minute. I'll take that as a compliment to my good genes. I remember that jacket, Laura. You used to wear it all the time, like mother, like daughter. What can I say? Stylishness runs in the Thompson family. I'm glad you all decided to come. Thanks for showing up. Of course, Harriet. We're all here because we care about Cedarport and the planet. Thank you for organizing this. I'm ready to let Monte Verde have a piece of my mind. This is so cool. This is even more people than last time. We're going to show Monte Verde that they can't just ruin our bay and get away with it. I brought recycled poster paper and eco-friendly markers for anyone who still needs to make a sign. I'm loving the enthusiasm. Ready to get this show on the road. Let's wait a little longer, honey. Hopefully more people will come. As the people chat amongst themselves, you spot two familiar faces among the crowd. You approach Robin, who's taking some test shots on his camera. He smiles when he sees you. Wow, that outfit. You look like you're about to lead the revolution. I mean, I kind of am. True. Wait, hold on. I need to capture this. He snaps a few quick photos of you and grins broadly. Perfect. You'll be front page news before you know it. I'm really glad you're here. I know you're not from Cedarport, but this is really your fight, but... Hey, this isn't my fight now. I care about you, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you. He puts a hand to your cheek, gently rubbing his thumb against your skin. This is everyone's fight, honestly. We all live on the same planet. We need to work together. Let's just hope that more people see it that way. This is a smaller turnout than I expected. I see smaller protests that still have made a difference. Every single person picketing is someone taking a stand. I promise you, Cedarport won't forget this. Just give it your all today, and of course, let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. Thanks. I could use a kiss. Oh, hey, that's my favorite kind of help, and one that I'm extremely qualified to give. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to ask you to prove that. With a playful smirk, he pulls you in his arms and presses his mouth to yours. You grab the collar of his jacket and pull him closer, and he mutters against your lips. Someone really needed this today, huh? Don't try to act like you didn't need this either. Oh, I did. You just beat me to asking for it. You pull apart with a smile. I should probably get back to taking pictures, but keep your chin up, okay? I will. See you out there. You weave your way back through the crowd. I should talk to Cassidy. When you reach Cassidy, he's nervously fiddling with his watch, brow furrowed, but his face softens when he spots you. I should have expected that you show up dressed like your best, and yet I'm still blown away. I should have expected that you'd find something flattering to say about me. Is it flattery if it's true? You look incredible and perfectly suited for today's march. Well, I appreciate the compliment. I'm ready to make my stand, and I'm happy you decided to join us. I know this is sort of awkward considering that Monte Verde is your former employer. Emphasis on former. After what they did in this town, I have absolutely no qualms about opposing them. And in all honesty, there's nothing I want more than to be standing by your side. He brushes his hand against yours, looking at you with intent. I do feel better when you're with me. Do you have any idea what we can expect from Monte Verde? They're certainly not gonna go down without a fight, but they care about optics. I think we can use that against them today. I have your back, Harry. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. I wouldn't mind some legal advice. I've never led a protest before. I just want to make sure I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's, you know? Absolutely. A company like Monte Verde is going to look for any excuse to invalidate you. Let's not give them the chance. You have the right to protest on public property, as long as you're not causing damage or impeding use. You also have the right to photograph and record footage. Be sure to safely document any evidence of unjust or violent action. But Monte Verde's headquarters are private property, so they have a lot more say on what you can and can't do. Okay, that all makes sense. We'll be careful, but vocal. We'll stick to the streets where we have more power. I should let you, keep making the rounds. I think there are a lot of people who want to talk to you, but I'll be right beside you when we march. With one last encouraging smile, he slips back into the crowd. You take a breath and try to steady your nerves, scanning the end of the street. Superintendent Jones rolls up in the crowd on a scooter. Hey, nice wheels. I see you ditched the car. Oh, thank you. Honestly, it's been a nice change. I feel healthier than I've felt in years. Also kinda hip. You've always been hip, Mr. Jones. I'm glad to have you scooting along with us today. A fancy car rolls up, and Herb and Maud emerge, waving when they see you. Oh, there she is, Harriet. We came as soon as we saw your article circulating. Really? Wait, don't tell me you're here to join our protest today. Of course we are. What Monte Verde is doing is awful. How dare they threaten our favorite vacation spot? Will you be able to march with us? This protest could last a while. Oh, darling, we're sprier than you may think. Our driver also brought lawn chairs in the trunk, just in case. You turn as a familiar van pulls up to the curb and Jenny steps out. Jenny, I'm so glad you could make it. How's Bloop? She's doing great. She's made a full recovery. We're ready to release her back into the wild, thanks to you two. Well, I expect to see more of me when I have more time to focus on volunteering. Hey girls, am I in the right place for the protest? Leia approaches you carrying a small stack of papers. You absolutely are. It's good to have you here. Great. I brought some flyers with some information on conservation facts and tips for attendees. I printed them on half sheets to save paper. Leia, you are a credit to humanity. I want to be with you when I grow up. A cluster of people approaches from down the road, and Beth's face lights up. Scott! You came after all! As if I'd make my sister march alone, not after hearing what Monte Verde is doing in our town. Scott's right. I came because I consider it my civic duty to support the safety of Cedarport. Couldn't have said it better myself, and Charlie, I hope you know you've got my backing for your initiative. You have no idea how much it means to me to see you all here today. Thank you for coming. Angelica and Diego stroll up to the crowd, hand in hand. Diego's face lights up when he sees you. Hi, Harriet. I'm ready for the protest. Oh, and I can see that. And so's your grandma, I hope. As ready as I'll ever be. I want to make sure I'm doing what I can to leave Diego a beautiful world to grow up in. That's the spirit. Don't worry, Diego. We're going to save the sharks. He glance down the street to see Frank approaching with a spring in his step. My, it's inspiring to see so many people here today. Frank, it's great you could come. How could I not? You girls are taking a bold stand to save the earth. I'm proud to call myself your fellow Cedarportian. That means a lot, Frank. We're proud to be a part of this with you, too. Javi, baby, there you are. Mel wraps Javier in a passionate hug as he joins the crowd. He catches your eye and waves. Looks like you two are still doing great. Oh, we are. Mel is teaching me so much about plants. I'm like a woman who knows her way around a garden, if you know what I mean. I don't even want to touch on that with a 12-foot pole. I don't even want to know, but I'm happy for you. Glad you could make it. Gradually, a few more people show up. You and Charlie scan the crowd, and she looks at you nervously. We probably waited long enough. Do you think this is enough people? Charlie, it's about the passion, not the size. Okay, yes, but having a bigger group can definitely help. I just don't want a repeat of what happened during the walkout. What if Monte Verde still won't listen to us? Maybe they will. Maybe they won't, but it's still the right thing to do. This isn't about changing Monteverde's mind. It's also about showing the people that in the community care for each other. So, let's go show it. You give her hand a squeeze and she smiles at you, and then she turns to the crowd. Everybody ready? Let's go! The crowd gives a cheer and you begin marching forward. Robin dashes to the front of the procession, camera clicking away. Fantastic. You can practically feel the energy radiating here. Hold those signs higher, folks. He catches your eye and winks, and you smile back. As you make your way down the street, Principal Strickler emerges from a shop. He regards the crowd tentatively and then locks eyes with you. Care to join us? His eyes dart to your jacket. Is it? I know that jacket. I wore it during a protest against nuclear warfare in the 80s. You were there with the rest of us, remember? Wait, what? Principal Strickler went to an anti-war protest? Are we talking about the same guy? Believe it or not, your principal has been known to take a stand when it comes to something important. Isn't that right, Richard? It's not what you think. Not a bleeding heart, I just thought no one could win the Worms race, okay? It was pragmatism. If you've stood up for what was right before, then maybe you can do it again today. Come on, Richard. He takes a deep breath, scanning the crowd, and then begins walking in step with the marchers. Just do me a favor and don't let the other students find out about this. I have a reputation to maintain. Oh, yeah, you can't be hip. And amidst the excited chatter of the crowd, your mom leans forward to talk to you. Hey, you know what will always get spirits up at all protests I've been to? Leading a chant. I should have thought of that and looked something up. Why didn't you come up with something on your own? Something short and catchy that gets to the heart of what you want. Go on, give it a shot. You turn to the crowd, cupping your hands around your mouth. Everyone repeat after me. Save Cedarport. Yeah, sure. Save Cedarport! Save Cedarport! Save Cedarport! Soon the air is filled with chanting and protesters. Your mom flashes a thumbs up. Yeah, really original. We could only type 2 words anyway, even if we tried. Just as you reach the end of the street, someone taps your shoulder. You turn to see Eddie, panting and out of breath. I hope I'm not too late. I had to run to catch up. Eddie, what are you doing here? I thought you were trying to keep your head down at work. I know the risk, but there's nothing in the company handbook that says I can't join my best friend's protest. This protest is important. I couldn't just sit it out. With a big smile, you hold your sign a little higher, and the march continues. You finally arrive at the front of the steps of Monteverde's office, but you stiffen as you see a large cluster of security guards lining the perimeter. You exchange a nervous glance with Charlie. Guess they were expecting us. Well, if they're trying to scare us, it's not going to work. One of the guards hold up his hands as you draw closer. Miss, I'm afraid you can't come any closer. This is private property. Oh? That's fine. We'll chant louder. You know, to make sure they really hear us in there. Please, I have a headache already. Save Cedarport! Save Cedarport! Save Cedarport! Suddenly the front door swings open and Warner emerges, descending the steps to meet you. You hold his icy gaze, your head high. Well, well, it looks like the Thompson sisters are here to stir up trouble again, and I see you brought friends this time. His eyes dart towards Cassidy, and then Eddie. Warner. Cassidy, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised to see that you've gone turncoat, but I certainly wasn't expecting to see you here, Eddie. Yeah, well, I live in Cedarport too, and I stand with my town. Warner, I know this must be hard to wrap your head around, but actions actually have consequences. And we're not leaving until you commit Monteverde to a greener practice, pay for Cedarport's damages, and step down as CEO. Would you like me to personally apologize to every dolphin in the bay while I'm at it? I'm glad you're taking this so seriously. Miss Thompson, our company has made a mistake. We are and have been taking steps to ensure that it won't happen again. What we won't need is a mob of misguided agitators insisting that our company is in need of an entire green revolution. You think we believe that? You knew what you were doing, and now you're just trying to save face. I resent that implication. If you're referring to Robin Torres' recent article, I have to question the bias of that piece. You know what? Intent aside, you lead a company that could have had a huge impact on the environment. You have a responsibility to use the power for good. Actually, I don't, and I don't appreciate being told how to run my business. Warner, you have a chance to build a better future. Instead of viewing this as being told what to do, you could see this as an opportunity to lead in the industry in a new direction. You think you know anything about this industry? Successfully run a major business for 20 years, then we'll talk. You're about to retort, but Warner holds up a hand, raising his voice to address the crowd. Cedarport, I truly regret the role that my company has played in harming your town. I take responsibility for my mistake, but the die-off occurred due to a regulatory oversight, not a climate conspiracy. This protest is well-intentioned but unnecessary. But that kind of damage still contributes to climate change. The fertilizer can kill plants that produce oxygen, and... Please let me say my piece, you'll want to hear this. This morning, our executive panel finished drafting a proposal that would address our role in Cedarport's recent tragedy, recover the cost of restoring the bay, provide full-time jobs for people whose businesses were affected by the die-off. Wait, you didn't do this from the beginning? Or why didn't you? We needed time to assess the extent of what we could do. I'd like you to know that I pushed for more aid. We'd also happily financed some of the redevelopment projects from that the Thompson sisters put forward in their proposal, but our initiative wouldn't put such strict regulations on businesses. We believe it would hurt small businesses and companies as they rebuild. Wow, Monteverde would help pay us for the retrofit to the town? That actually sounds like a pretty good deal. The crowd murmurs amongst themselves. You exchange a horrified glance with Charlie. Let me get this straight. You're trying to buy us off with a watered-down version of our own initiative? Watered down, I'd say it's much more fair and forgiving. You're cutting out one of the most important parts. This would just be putting a band-aid on a current problem. If we don't change the foundation of how we treat the Earth, nothing will stop a disaster from like this happening again. I understand that when you're young and idealistic, it's easy to have an all-or-nothing mindset, but sometimes you have to accept a compromise. Cedarport is a small town low on resources. Do you see anyone else offering such a substantive aid? He has a point, and it does address some of our demands. This might be our best shot at saving Cedarport. As the people around you quietly ponder the offer, Warner leans in close so that only you can hear, grinning coldly. Maybe it's time to call it a day, Harriet. It seems like you might not have the town's support anymore. We're not going to stop fighting, Warner, until we see some real change. Are you sure? I heard your family's business is struggling, not to mention the unfortunate attacks on your home. It'd be awful shame if that kept up. Imagine if your sister couldn't afford school or your family wound up on the streets. Warner, don't you understand this affects you too? Climate change is bigger than you or me or Cedarport or even the United States. The whole world is at risk. Put aside your business. Put aside your pride. Help us. Actually help us. I think that bridge is long since burned, Harriet. The truth of the matter is that Cedarport needs Monteverde. No one else is coming to save you. Your body begins to tremble and you can feel the energy of the crowd shifting. People grow quieter, lowering their signs. Charlie grabs her hand and her voice barely a whisper. It can't be over. Not like this. And before Diamond choice to ramp everybody back up, Warner stares smugly at you as if daring you to challenge him, but there's nothing you can say. But then you hear the chanting. All heads turn to a crowd of protesters round the corner down the street, marching towards Monteverde. As the crowd reaches the steps, you're amazed at how far the mass of people continues to stretch. They seem to be pouring from every side of the street. That's gotta be at least 200 people, maybe 300. They must have seen the event online and come from out of town. Look, it's the girls from the article, Harriet and Charlie. Northbridge has your back. You give that heartless man a piece of your mind. What in the... Warner stares at the growing crowd in horror. The street is completely packed. Down several blocks. You even spot news cameras among the faces. "Harriet, Charlie, give us a speech!" One of the protesters hands you a megaphone, and you gaze out at all the new people. The small cluster of Cedarport residents look at you hopefully. Hi. My name is Harriet Thompson. I didn't realize so many people would come, but thank you." You pause to collect your thoughts, and then take a breath and continue. "A few months ago, I felt helpless. My town was facing a disaster, my family was struggling. I didn't think there was anything I could really do. But as my sister and I tried to make small changes, I began to see ripples of our actions. We were actually making a difference. Money Verde saw it too, and unfortunately they wanted to stop us. At first I thought they were just acting out of greed and self-interest, but I realize now that it was because they were scared. They understood how much power we have when we work together to make a change. That's the power I see here today. I see people who know there's a solution and want to be a part of it." Some cheers erupt and kick off a wave of applause. You glance at Charlie and her eyes are shining, a smile stretching across her face, and you speak again. "But none of us would be here without my sister's passion and determination guiding this whole movement." With a grin, you hand her the megaphone. The moment she raises it to her lips, she lights up with energy. "Harriet is right. We have the power to fix things and make the world a better place. We came together in a time of darkness. A lot of us felt scared, angry, helpless. But we didn't give up, and we won't give up, because we still have hope for a beautiful future." The crowd cheers again, and as you look at your sister, you realize how much she's grown up in the last few months. You feel a surge of pride for the young woman she's become. You wrap your arms around her shoulder, and she grins up at you. "You want to do the honors?" "My pleasure." She hands you the megaphone, and you raise it to your lips once more. "This is about saving the planet. We only have one Earth. There's beauty everywhere you look, from the smallest bird to the vastness of the ocean. We can't lose that. That's why we're calling on Monte Verde to change their practices. Big companies like theirs have so much power to hurt the environment, but just as much to help. Ultimately, we all need to work together to fix things, and that includes them." "You heard her, Warner! Clean up your mess. Listen to the girls. Save Cedarport. Save Cedarport. Save Cedarport. Save Cedarport." You turn to Warner, whose face is finally beginning to show signs of fear as his eyes dart over the massive crowd. You hand him the megaphone. "Come on. You have a choice." He looks you in the eye and takes a deep breath. "After hearing what everyone has said, I've decided to step down as CEO of Monte Verde. My final act will be to ensure Monte Verde assumes responsibility for their actions and commits to a greener practice." Yeah, this never happens. "We'll be withdrawing our initiative and giving all of our support, financial and otherwise, to the Thompson sisters' proposal." And then we all wake up. The crowd erupts in whooping and hollering. Your parents wrap each other in a hug. Mayor Liao pumps his fist in the air. "Justice! We saved the sharks! Take that, Mr. Fancy Pants!" As I do, Charlie stares at the commotion. Blackjaw. "Oh my god, is this really happening? We did it!" "You did it, kiddo. I'm so proud of you." "Harriet, I just want to say, I couldn't have done this, or couldn't have gone this far without you. You've taught me so much." "Charlie, you've always had the strength within you. I was just channeling the passion that was already there. You did all the heavy lifting. Stop being humble. Let's just agree that we did this together and call it a day." Behind you, Warner slowly slinks towards the door, but a sharply dressed reporter and her cameraman cut him off. "Ellen Thompson, Northbridge News. Mr. Rafferty, do you have anything to say about today's events?" "No comment." He tries to edge around her, but she blocks him again. Behind you, the people of Cedarport hoot and holler. "Over here, camera lady! I have words for this walking garbage pile of a man." "Why don't you come face us instead of trying to sneak back into your fortress, huh?" You and Charlie exchange a glance. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking? What if we helped our community air their grievances towards Warner on live TV? You're not going to let that man walk away with a shred of dignity intact, are you?" Not if I can help it. He doesn't deserve to get off without at least a public shaming. Not after everything he's done. Take this chance to let the people of Cedarport say their piece and humiliate Warner on TV. Let him have it. You approach Ellen, tapping her on the shoulder. Excuse me, Miss Thompson. I think there are some members of the community who would like to say their piece about Warner. Wouldn't it be awesome if you got some footage of Warner reacting to what they say? Wow, you girls are ruthless. I love it. She grabs Warner's hand, despite his protests, and pulls him into the crowd. Hello, people of Cedarport. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Mr. Rafferty's actions. Excuse me, I don't need to be here. Oh, I think you do. I mean, I'm wondering if we can go in a full circle. Listen here, you sick-hearted, soft-handed, ballroom bastard. I hope you enjoy making money off our misery, because you're done. You and your $500 haircut and your yacht collection can go to a billionaire hell. Okay, I feel as if you're attacking me for being wealthy. Yeah, your wealthy ass attacked us when you unleashed an ecological disaster in our backyard. Oh, you know I'll save the kid for last. Mail now. I think I speak for all Cedarport when I express how betrayed I feel by all this. You threatened the vitality of this town, lied about it, harassed the people trying to fix things. Now that's some harsh language. And then you have the gall to call say the Monteverdes, the only thing holding our economic together. You disgust me. You acted like you had our best interests at heart, like you were one of us. But it was all a lie. You wouldn't understand scraping by on blue-collar work if it bit you in the ass, and you weren't helping us at all. Also, your taste in clothes is horrendous. That belt with that suit, you need fashion police. Also, real police. But I don't even know what to say to that. Neither do I. This is weak. My family has lived in Cedarport for generations. You could have destroyed all the hard work built this town. Cedarport existed before Monteverde, and we're sure as hell gonna outlast Monteverde. You're not our king. I never claimed that I... Oh, shove it, Warner. Your time here is over, and we're gonna build a better future without you. It's your fault the fish got sick and died. How would you like it if a shark poisoned your food? I bet I never done more to help the ocean, and I'm just you're like 100 years old. Hey, I'm 57. Well, you clearly haven't learned anything about being nice in that time. Hope you change. Wow, I'm sensing a lot of pent-up rage here. Mr. Rafferty, do you have a response? Say what you want, but I don't have to stand here and listen to... Suddenly a puffin swoops overhead, squawking loudly. As everyone looks up to watch, the puffin lets out a squirt of poop and lands on Warner's shirt. My suit. Winifred, is that you? Good aim. Say hi to Cotton Ball for us. Oh, this is gold. Bob, zoom in. I want the good shot of this. Warner retrieves his pocket square and wipes desperately at his shirt as the crowd hoots around him. He scowls at you. Anything to add? I could let this situation speak for itself, but I won't. I actually have to do one more thing to add. You're a disgrace, and I want to hear you say it. Go on. I'm not saying that. You've already lost what little dignity you had today. What's a little groveling? Fine, I'm a disgrace. Happy? More than I've been all month. Now get out of our town forever. Warner hurries away, head bent in shame, and you turn back to face Helen on the cameras. You heard it here, folks. Warner Rafferty has gone from business hotshot to a disgrace. As you take another look at the crowd, a wave of emotion hits you, tears well up in your eyes, Charlie sniffles beside you, and you realize she's crying too. We did it. We really did it. It's over. Wrap her in a tight hug, smiling through your tears. No, Charlie, I think we're just getting started. Oh, for the love of really. Alright, well, without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content here. For a moment, I thought, wow, they're really hurrying this book really quickly, but apparently it's not over just yet. I'm wondering how far this book will go. I'll say this. Well, I'll say this before I give a small little speech. Please like, share, and subscribe the video, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Become a part of the community. we really would like to welcome you. So, as for what I'm about to say, here we go. I have pushed for 2 decades of my life for change. From things for children, things to protect them in a lot of ways that are, to this day, really overlooked or legal, to pushing for equality, pushing for balance of everything, pushing just for people to just have more freedoms and everything else. I could go through the lengthy list of things that I've done, and we'd be here a while. I will just say this: it's great. It brought a tear to my eye. Here they were really being discouraged, and I have been there, literally and figuratively, a million times in my life. If the video that I recently talked about, what was going on with me is any indication, clearly, it's true. So, with that being said, here's the thing. Go watch that video again. Go watch it again. I'm standing in front of Monteverdi right now, and alone. The community's not even there. Now, no offense, but it's true. Like it's that's how I feel. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but I don't hate to put it that way. I just feel alone. I have felt alone my whole entire life, and every time I try and push and advocate for certain things and change things and whatnot, I stand alone. And I don't have much time left on this planet. And I just wish there could have been one thing that I pushed for, that I advocated for, that I wanted that would go through, that would be done differently. And there's not. So, I turned from a optimist and all this other crap to just a realist. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace.